Hello, everyone. Welcome to Design 103. This is our Illustrator course, and we are getting ready to start week 4. So let's talk a little bit about what we can expect for the final project. Has anyone here had a chance to look at it? Just out of curiosity, some yeses. Okay, that's good. Very good. Okay, so here's the thing. We only have one assignment today, this week, okay? It's the final project, and so that's the good news. And in fact, it just keeps getting better because the only other thing that you have to do is this week 4 career integration. It's just a little 15-minute quiz. It might be even shorter than that. There's just a series of questions that you'll be asked, like how did the videos or the reading materials help you in this class? It's just kind of assessing what worked and what didn't for you and what was successful. And so you're going to be graded not on your response, but on how you responded. So length is going to be important. Details are going to be important. And then just make sure that you watch the recordings because you'll be asked about those, and we want to be able to get some good, honest feedback. So again, that one is going to be graded. Just make sure your spelling's correct, grammar's correct. It's a formal answer. So make sure that you do that. But otherwise, that should be a quick, easy 15 points. And then this assessment 4 is the only thing that we have going on this week. I know that you're probably going to be taking other classes, or that you currently are taking other classes. So I guess having too many assignments in one week isn't so great. But this is just one final. You should be wrapping up your other classes as well. There is a zip file here. And let's talk about the week 4 final. You did a newsletter design in, what was it, week 2? And so you're going to be creating one additional page to this newsletter. So what you're going to do is download this zip file right here. And I'm going to go ahead and do that because I'm going to need it for the demo. Okay, so it looks like Norma already did the career integration. Brian, you're still trying to work on it. No problem. There's no rush. You do have till this Saturday. You have a week to get this stuff in. And then, so that's great, Norma, that you've got one thing down, one thing off your list. And you'll probably have to do one of those for just about every class you're taking. So I guess that's the only downside, but luckily it takes the place of having to do another design assignment. All right, so go ahead and download the zip file with me if you can. If you're able to pull up your dual screens, it would be great if you could get this downloaded. All right, and then, so what we're going to need to do is, so we're going to finalize the week 2 assignment. So you did a newsletter design. It was kind of a pet newsletter. You had 2 pictures and you had to lay out some text. I gave you some great feedback. I did critique your work. So what I need you to do is go back and make those changes. Now, here's the thing. If you go back and make those changes on Thursday, you can show it to me and I will adjust your grade, okay? So you can not only get points back on the assignment 2, but you can also get some good points for the assessment. So it's kind of hand in hand. Now, some of you have already done that. You've made changes and done the critiques with me during the multi-sessions. So you do have one last opportunity this Thursday for the multi-session to bring your assignment 2 in, make those changes, get those points, and then also to turn in or have me critique your assessment 4 before you submit it. And like all other assignments, you can turn in your final after you've worked with me on Thursday, and you can get your final grade. You can get your grade for your final right then and there. So it's an immediate thing. You don't have to wait till the first of the week. Some students love it because they're on pins and needles wondering what their grade is, but that should finalize everything. So I encourage you to do that if you can. It's a great way to kind of get, guarantee that you're doing the assignment correctly and everything, and it gives you some one-on-one time with me as well. So please implement the techniques and tools that you've been learning in the last 4 weeks. Be sure to follow all the steps. Remember, I'll be posting the grading rubric tonight, so make sure you just double check everything. I've had some of you say, well, what's in the actual assignment and then what's in the grading rubric is a little different. Always stick to the grading rubric, okay? Because that's going to be the universal thing that you'll be, whoops. Anyways, that's going to be the kind of the universal thing that I'm going to be standard everyone's going to be held to. This is a 185-point assignment. So again, you're definitely going to want to make sure you you do this. And it should be a pretty easy assignment if you've already done the first half in week 2. All right, any questions? I'll go ahead and show you real quick. This is kind of what it looks like. I know it's kind of hard to see as it is, but this is the second page. So remember that in week 3, we had to convert a raster to a vector. And so we did that with those dog pictures. Well, here's a dog right here, and this is one of them. And so you're going to take this dog, convert it to a vector, and then you're going to place it inside your newsletter. So it's kind of taking little things, little elements and steps that we've learned, tutorials that we've learned, and kind of implementing it in one newsletter. Now, here is one other thing you will need to know, and you will be graded on. You'll need to turn in a multi-page PDF. So I don't want separate PDFs. I don't want page 1 newsletter and page 2 newsletter. I need you to have both newsletter pages submitted, okay? All right, and then Rebecca says, I know it says to use the dog. We already vectorized. Let's see. Yeah, it says the illustration of the dog on page 2 is from your week 2 assessment. So be sure to update this file if needed from the feedback. That's fine. That should work. I actually don't want you to use week 2's assessment. I'd like you to. I'd like it to be universal, so I'd like you to use this one. I know some of you have gone in and, because during week 2, some of you went in and changed the color of the dog. You guys did some other manipulations to the week 2 assignment. So I just want it to be standard, no alterations. I just want it converted. So we're going to just stick with this one, okay? It's pretty simple to do anyways, to convert raster to image or vector. So it's just a 2-step process. So it shouldn't take any more time. But just to stay consistent, we're going to do that. And but that's a great comment, Rebecca. Thank you. And then the photo of the dog, page 2. Yeah, they said you can use it from your week. I guess you can. What I don't want to see is like it, because some of you changed the colors to purple, or you changed the background to red, or you did some alterations. Just if you're going to use your week 3's assignment dog, then don't do any alterations to the vector. Does that make sense? Just keep it just its original form. We're not going to change colors. So, all right, perfect. All right, as long as that was clear, that's fine. You can use whichever dog you chose during your vector version. So that should be one less step for you. Okay, thank you, Rebecca. You're right. So just be sure to follow all the steps. Again, I'll post the grading rubric tonight, and that'll be good. Now, while I have you here, go ahead and go to your course homepage, and please download this final zip file, because we're going to go over that as well in our demo. Are there any questions about this? So I will be looking for the Illustrator file and the PDF. So get all those points that you can. Are there any questions from last week that you might have about week 3's assignments? I was surprised. There were a handful of you that chose not to turn it in. I thought week 3 was the easiest week that we had so far. It's in terms of time spent per assignment. So and just get those. I did want to put a plug in there for late work. Only week 3 late work is accepted at this point. So this Saturday, get week 3 late work in, and your final project is in, okay, or is due. So make sure that all those assignments are turned in and that you don't miss out on those points. Yeah, I thought week 3 was fun too. Actually, all the weeks have been fun. I think week 2 was kind of fun, but definitely, I definitely think in terms of time spent, it probably would have been easier to turn in week 3 assignments. But all right, let's get into the quizzes, because I know that I like to address these before we jump into lecture. You liked week 2, Rebecca? Yeah, I think week 2 was fun. That was the newsletter. And then what did you do? Convert, that was image trace, right? Yeah, that was pretty neat. Okay, who are we kidding? We liked every week, right? Right. Okay, so let's start with question 1. Today's question. If you've done this, you probably can help me out. So you visit the Career Services Division, this link here. Once you graduate and are an alumni, you can no longer take advantage of career services. True or false? I would hope that's false. No, it definitely is false. Oops, hang on. Do it again. There we go. Yeah, so that's false. We know that. It's really nice to have career services available even after you graduate. That's what makes it really nice to be an alumni. Welcome, Kim. And who else do we have? Who's Go Family? Is that Diego? Okay, great. Just want to make sure we have everyone. So Norma, Brianne, Rebecca. Okay, very cool. All right, let's do this next one. This is Tuesdays. Okay, how many years may I get to repay my consolidation loan? Can't even say that. What do you think? I guess you have to review the checklist to see if it's the best option for you, but I'm going to say up to 30 years. Yep. You're saying up to 10, Rebecca? Well, let's see. Let's see what it is. Up to 30 years, okay? Good guess, Rebecca. I sometimes I don't even bother reading those. All right, we're on Wednesday. Let's do Wednesdays. Another consolidated loan question. Can I remove my loans once they have been consolidated? Let's see. The answer is no, Brianne. All right, let's try true. I see some trues. Fourth paragraph. Let's see. Okay, so it's false. Fourth paragraph. Once your loans are combined into a direct consolidation loan, they cannot be removed. Okay, so I guess we should have read that first. Thank you to those who actually read these questions. Now let's do it again. There's Thursdays. Let's get to a design question. Come on. All right, a video to watch. Please check it out. Once items are grouped, you will see a what outline around them. Yeah, a blue. Blue. That's right. What? Oh, red. Here, let's see. Let's try it. So let's try it real quick. 1 second. Let me get Illustrator pulled up. Bear with me. Red for grouping, blue for selecting. Okay, see, that's muscle memory to me. But we're gonna experiment. So I'll draw these quick for 3 squares. We'll do 3 squares. Come on. All right, so when you're selecting, they're blue, and then when you group them, see, mine are blue though. Let's see. Right click, group. Yeah, see, that's weird. I thought they were blue because when I'm grouping them, they're blue. The color doesn't change. That's odd. And also, depending on the layer that you're on, I wonder if the video explains more, because when I group them, mine are blue. So that's why I assumed it was. Let's see how long this video is. It's 4 minutes, but maybe they can give us a quick explanation.
Let's look next at live paint. Earlier, in a different video, we talked about the fact that I'm going to select everything, and then I'm going to come over here, and under my shape builder tool, I have the live paint bucket. Select that, and I'm going to come put my mouse over what I've selected. You'll see that it says you want to click this, make live paint. When I click that, it turns it into a group. It's grouped now, so I can't.
Oh, okay. I see. So in terms of live paint, got it. Question failed to mention that. Okay. So yes, if you're in live paint, when you're highlighting or outlining something, if the hotspot is red. So that's the answer. All right. I thought they meant when you're grouping items. So I misread that question. That was trickery. Yep. You gotta actually watch the link. All right. Well, go and watch it because that's a great video. I love that video. I've seen it several times, and he is, I think it's Jason Merrill who's talking. He's a great instructor. All right, here's another video to watch. The symbol panel icon looks like.
The last thing that I want to talk about in this video is the symbols panel. Symbols panel is right here. Looks like a club from the deck of cards. This has.
There you go, a club. Okay, you can't see the screen. Oh dear. Thank you. Thank you, Diego. All right, so let me show you real quick. It's kind of hard to see, but you'll have to watch the link. Can you hear the video?
The last thing that I want to talk about in this video is the symbols panel. The symbols panel is right here. Looks like a club from the deck of cards. And this has symbols in it.
Okay, so you'll learn more about the symbol tool, the symbol panel once you watch the video. It is a club, that's the answer, and we're gonna move on. All right, I'll let you do, well, we'll do Saturday. Let's do Saturday. Before you can edit your symbol, you will need to click, let's finish. Can you hear it now?
The last thing that I want to talk about in this video is the symbols panel. The symbols panel is right here. Looks like a club from a deck of cards. And this has symbols in it. We have a symbol library down here, the same as we had a brushes library and swatches libraries. Symbols are basically pre-drawn artwork that act in a different way than most artwork. So you see I just drag down this paint splotch symbol, and there it is. Now, I cannot really edit this as a symbol. I can't change the color of it. I can't get rid of certain parts of it because it is a symbol. If I want to break it from being a symbol, then I can edit it. So right here, I would click break link right up here in the control panel.
Break link is the answer. Okay. Check out the symbols panel because that, if you like the swatches and the patterns assignment, you'd really like the symbols panel. All right. Okay, so that's all the quiz questions. Let's move on. And we talked about discussion. Oh, there is no discussion for week 4, but you are required to take the reflection. So do the reflection quiz. It's really fast, quick, easy, and then also work on your final project. Come in on Thursday if you want any critiques before you submit. If you want a grade when you submit. If you have any questions or need help with any assignments or week 3 late work, I'm happy to help. All right, any questions before we move on? Brianne, there's no crying in Illustrator. Okay, well, let's get into Illustrator. So if you can load your Illustrator up and then follow along. How many of you are able to have Illustrator up as you're watching Zoom? Just so I know. Okay, we've got 1. And Norma, perfect. Okay, as long as we can get around half, that would be great. Okay, so let's download the zip file like we talked about. I'm going to open it, and then I'm going to pull up Illustrator. Oh, okay, perfect, Kim. That's awesome. Yeah, whatever works, whatever you've got to do. Okay, now I'm going to switch over here. We're going to switch gears. We're going to jump into Illustrator. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna kind of close out of here and see what we've got. Okay, now it looks like we might have to go download you probably already have the template for week 2, but I don't have it, so I'm gonna go grab it real quick. I'm gonna go to week 2, grab the newsletter design template so I have it. You might want to open up your assignment 2, so get that opened. And then if you're not already logged on to the course homepage, go ahead and pull that up too, because the first thing that you're going to be asked is, did you make the changes that were given to you, the feedback that was given to you in your assignment 2? So we definitely want to get all those points. So make sure you go back and make those changes if you can. I did make sure to take some time. Now, if I didn't give you many critiques, that was good. Then you didn't need that many, but all the changes need to be made. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna open this file here real quick. And I'm gonna share I'm gonna switch the views here and share my desktop so you can see everything that I'm doing and see my messy desktop. Whew. There we go. So they already give you the template. Here's the example. I'm gonna grab my layers panel, unlock my layers. I'll lock my background layer for now. I'm gonna pull in this example. Okay, so let's pretend I already did this during week 2. We already went over this in week 2, so I'm not going to rehash it. But now that you've opened up this week 2 assignment, we need to add a page, right? So let's go to our artboard. Click your artboard screen here. Okay. And we're going to select it right here. So did you see how I did that? So I selected my artboard, and then I went here at the top under my presets, and I clicked on this page icon with it's kind of folded in, the corners folded in, dog-eared, and I clicked on it, and that said, that was create a new page. So now it allows me to create a new page at the same dimensions as what I've got here for my template. So originally I had this set up as an 8.5 by 11. By clicking that preset to create a new page, it's just going to create another one. Now you can do it side by side, or you can do it below. And side by side is kind of nice, so I'll go ahead and do side by side. It's a little easier to see what we're doing. You want to give it enough space so that they're not overlapping and pictures aren't overlapping. So here's what's neat about this artboard here. So this artboard tool on your tools panel allows you to resize artboards. You can resize it manually. You can, I mean, if you wanted to do a business card size, you could do it that way. This allows you to resize your artboard in many different ways. Now you can also resize it by adjusting the width and the height up here in your artboards. You can also adjust whether or not you want it landscape or portrait, which is nice. And each artboard you can customize. You can give it a name. If you want to name it, instead of artboard 2, this will be newsletter page 2. And then it'll show up right here at the top in this gray box. Like, do you see that? So it'll say page 2, newsletter page 2, or whatever I want it to say. Then again, you'll have all different presets that you can adjust. But right now, we only need to draw a new page. So by clicking on that new page icon and by hovering over it, it will say new artboard. Click once, it'll select your page. So let's try it again by clicking on my artboard tool, selecting new artboard here at the top, right there. It'll already kind of have it in light gray. It's kind of highlighted, showing you where your page placement will be. I'm going to line it up the best I can with my smart guides on it. We'll kind of snap it into place. I click once and it will place the picture for me, or the artboard for me. That artboard tool should be on your toolbar. It's towards the bottom here. Let me see if you can see it. Right down here. Do you see that? See my mouse? You see that, Brianne? Oh, sorry. Okay, so, but you do see it. Awesome. All right, so that is where the new artboard tool is. So I'll give you a minute to get it placed. Once you have your new page, it's kind of the same situation as what we did in week 2. You're gonna go grab that example. So let me see. Grab your layers right here. And you're gonna drag in your pet pages, page 2. Oops. I'm gonna deselect off my artboard. I'm gonna bring in my page 2. And it should fit the page exactly if it's the correct dimensions. I'm gonna make sure that I put this on my example. Remember, you can label it example/template. Okay, now I'm gonna adjust the opacity so I can see it. It's there, but it's not. I can actually tell the difference between my work and theirs. You want a really slight opacity, or you want a really light opacity on it, because if it's too dark, it'll be hard to tell what is your text and what is theirs. And so I like a lighter opacity where you can still see it. It's faint, it's subtle, but you can actually tell the difference between your work and theirs. So then lock it once you have it placed, and that allows you to not be able to move it. And now it's all comes down to placement, okay? We're gonna draw this, or let's see, we're gonna grab the photo. Oh yeah, you have to place the photo of your live paint dog that you did. I don't have one, so I'm going to pretend. Just draw this in here. Okay, that's placed. Remember to scale something, you just click and drag until it locks in. You need to hold down Shift. That will allow you to resize something by constraining proportions. Remember, we learned that. I can go as small or as large as I want. It will always be a true square because I'm holding down Shift. All right, so I've got that box. I'm gonna go ahead and fill it in with something. Just so that we know it's been placed. And then I'm gonna do this bottom portion last because, again, I don't have that photo yet. I'm gonna do the top part. They give you 2 Word documents, so I'm gonna open up the Word documents here. This is the Class Act one. I'll do that one last. Okay. So let's format the headline. I'm gonna grab my type tool, click and drag, paste the text. Command A highlights it all, or you can click and drag your mouse. Command A will highlight whatever is within your text box. If you're outside your text box, it'll highlight whatever elements are included. It's just kind of a way to highlight everything quickly. I'm going to format this, so I'm going to change the font here. We want a bold, so let's do, oops. Try Helvetica, see if I have it. There we go, and I'm gonna do, not quite sure what font that is. Might be Myriad Pro. Yeah, I believe it's Myriad Pro. Okay, so I'm just resizing it. Looks like it's about 45 point, close enough. Just kind of gauge it. And then I'm gonna make sure I have the center of that text box. And so that is, when you see that green Smart Guide. That means it's kind of locking it into the center view. All right, I'm going to center the text inside, and then I'm going to give it a red color. I'm going to go to Window, open up my swatches, because I want to change. I want to have my color library open for quick access to colors. And see. Oops. Change that to red. And then I'm going to go grab the other text. Oops, right here. Grab another type tool. Paste it. Now I'm going to hit Command A again, and I'm going to resize it. I'm going to do semi-bold on this one. And luckily in this file, it's already copied the colors that you're going to need. So I'm just going to highlight this, and when I open my swatches, these are the colors that they're using. So I'm just going to use that. I believe it's this light yellow orange. Again, the font size for this is 20 points, and it's Myriad Pro semi-bold. I'm going to center this so it lines up with that the line up top. And then I'm going to go ahead and format this next paragraph. It's the opening paragraph. Now this paragraph is in all caps. Do you guys remember how to access the all caps setting? There's two different ways. Any ideas? Once you place the text, you're going to go up to Type, change case, and select uppercase. Do you see that? Then you can adjust the size if you need to. I'm gonna do this, and then I think it's the same color font that we used. Now the text doesn't have to line up exactly. So just kind of eyeball it. As long as it's all in there. Now, one thing I do want you to do is if you can highlight the text and go open up your paragraph dialog box, your paragraph panel. You can also access it by going to Window and clicking on Paragraph. Let's see, Type, Paragraph. It will give you, there's be this little box that says hyphenate. If you uncheck it, deselect it, it will not do any wraparound words, which is what we want. So just deselect that hyphenate button. Otherwise, it will kind of cut words off in funny places. And in the print industry, we usually deselect that. Okay, any questions so far? So far, we've got our live paint dog placed, our headline, our subheadline, and our first paragraph has been formatted. So what I did here for this first paragraph, it is Myriad Pro Regular, size 11 font. You can even up the font if you want. .3. Try to get it as big as possible, but otherwise 11-point font is good. Any questions, or are we good to go? All right, no questions at this point? Yes, Norma. Okay, Kim, what part of the text? Can I show how to do the text again? How I did the uppercase text? Or just how to place it? When I copy it? Yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'll back up. That's okay, Norma, I'm gonna back up for a little bit here. We'll have a chance to get caught up. All right, so I've drawn my text box. I'm gonna go to grab my first paragraph. Copy is Command C if you're on a Mac, or Control C if you're on a PC. You can also access it by going Edit, Copy. Command C, and then within my text box, I'm gonna paste it. Command V will paste it. So Command C equals copy. Command V equals paste. And then Command A equals select all. So within my text box, I'm going to hit Command A to highlight it all. And now I'm going to go to type. There's a drop-down menu here. Change case, uppercase. Do you see that? I'll stop there so you can catch up. Is that what you were asking, Kim? Perfect. So yes, you can change it here by going to type, the drop-down menu type, change case, click uppercase, or you can open on window your type, your character panel. And when it opens up your character panel, there is a all caps button right here that you can select as well. So there's two different ways to access it. It doesn't matter which one you prefer, just whatever's quickest for you. And then the font was 11 point Myriad Pro regular. Okay, so I'll stop here. Let me format this real quick, and then we'll go in line and just answer some questions to make sure everybody's caught up and up to speed. Sound like a plan? Okay, so yeah, Kim, it's really nice. And I did too. When I was first starting out, I didn't have a clue that you could format text. I'm like, why don't they have it? It should be more like Word, where you can just push a button and it formats it for you. And luckily they do. Illustrator and InDesign do have a lot of Word-like features for formatting text. So it's kind of neat and a huge time saver. And no one wants to retype anything, so we don't have time for that. So hopefully that answered your question. Was that pretty clear? Okay, let's start with Rebecca. Rebecca, can you share your screen real quick? And I'll help you create your new artboard. Rebecca, are you able to? There we go, perfect. Okay, let me unmute your mic so that you can talk. Okay, go for it.
Okay, I'm not sure if I did this right on when you go ahead and put in a new artboard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I did was I went ahead and I went right here.
Right.
Okay, I pushed on that. Okay, so when I go ahead, I just hovered over here first to get the exact size.
What you need to do, so click on the artboard icon for me. Perfect. And then go ahead and hit delete real quick. Okay. And then with that one selected, it looks like it's not the correct dimension, so hit delete.
Okay.
Okay, now go up to the top by your presets, top left, You see your presets?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Okay, now move over to the right. It's that doggy-eared page. If you hover over it, it says new artboard. Keep going over 3.
Okay.
Oh, a little too far. That little icon looks like a new page. Do you see that?
Right here?
There, yeah. You click that. Okay, and then move over into the gray area. And then
Oh.
just click once you've lined it up. Just click once. So what that does is it says, I want a new artboard, the same dimensions as what's already been set up. Now, you can adjust the size of your artboard by clicking and dragging, but we don't want to do that right now. So that was an easy way to just add the second page. Okay?
Okay.
So you're all set now to design. Now, if you want to get off of the artboard setting or tool, you can just grab your selection tool.
Which is right here.
Yes, the black arrow. Excellent. Yep. Good job. So now you're set to lay out or pull in the example and then get your layers set up.
Okay.
Do you want me to step you through that real quick?
Yes, please.
Okay. So if you already have your example, the example JPEG accessible, do you have that file downloaded?
I did download it, but I'm not sure. Let me see. So if I go ahead.
No problem, Norma. We'll make it down the line.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and hit to get to my downloads. I would have to go.
If you want to place something, there's 2 ways. You can either open the folder on your computer, or you can, if you're going to place it, just go to File.
Uh-huh.
If the folder's already been opened, and go to Place.
I don't think it's been opened
Okay,
yet.
so go find your folder. Do you have a folder on your desktop that you can open, or your downloads folder?
Uh,
Set up. Any folder will do. It will get us where we need.
okay. Go ahead. You can go ahead and go help
Okay.
me. And then I'll do this and I'll get back with you again.
No problem. All right, we'll rotate. Okay, so let's move on. Let's do, who's next? Brianne. Brianne, why don't you share your screen and then we'll move on to Norma. All right, and then let me unmute you. Okay, Brianne. So what was your question?
Well, okay, so this is my new board.
Okay.
I thought it was my new board. Hold on.
Can you hit Command minus?
Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Now we lost everything.
Hit Command minus a few times. Okay, there it is.
We are.
You're just a little zoomed in. So now you can hit Command plus until you get to the view that you want.
Well, because now my other one is gone.
Your other one is gone.
Yeah, because I have. Hold on. Because it was on. Oh, here's my board. Never mind. There we go.
There you go. Okay.
So what I guess my question was, because see here from the week before we had the 3. So do I make a new layer before I bring in?
Yeah, make a new layer. That's just fine. Or you can put it on the example layer that you're using for the other one. That's okay too.
So I can use this same layer. I just put it over on this artboard instead.
Exactly. What you'll need to do is unlock it though, because right now it's locked. So you won't be able to grab it or anything or make adjustments to it. Just remember after you've placed the example, lock the layer so you know not to.
So it doesn't move around on me.
Mm-hmm. But you'll need to unlock it to place it.
Okay. Now I just got to find it on this page again because we made it really tiny.
Okay.
Where did it go? Like,
there it is. Just hit Command X.
Command X.
Mm-hmm. That'll cut it and go back into your assignment. Command V will paste it. Hit yes.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
And then you
And
can
then I
drag
just
it in.
change the opacity then.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so let's see. Who is next? Norma, do you want to share your screen? Let me unmute Brianne real quick. Norma, go ahead and share your screen. if you can. Okay, and then I'll unmute you. Okay. So how can I help, Norma?
Somehow or other, mine is 17 by something, and I can't get it down to 8.5 by 11.
Okay. All right, let's take a
My
look.
second artboard.
No, that's fine. That's an easy fix. So grab your selection tool. The black arrow. on
Oh,
your toolbar. No, you're fine. Black arrow on your,
got it.
okay. And now select the dog layer.
All right.
Now hold down shift and grab the anchor point in the corner there. And click and drag it until it kind of gets down to the size you need.
There we go.
There you go. So you just need to adjust the size. Another easy way too is you can enter in, if you go up to the top right, you see the W and the H up at the top.
Yes, I do.
You can enter in 8.5 and 11, and that will resize it perfectly for you. So it's
Okay.
proportional. But you got it. You resize it just fine. So there's
Okay.
page 2 placed. Good job.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Is that your only question?
That was my question.
Okay, I'm glad I can help.
Other than I'm
No,
behind.
that's fine. No, that's perfect. Just wanted to make sure I didn't leave too soon. All right. Any other questions? Those are all very good questions. Okay, Kim, go ahead and share your screen. Oh, wait, let me click out of there. Okay, Kim, if you still have a question, go ahead and pull your screen up. Okay, I'm gonna, looks like I have 2 Kims.
That I just logged in.
Okay, so because you have 2, oh, okay, it stopped. Whew. All right. Did you have a question or did you figure it out?
No, I can't get the coloring.
Okay. Okay, so go to your assignment. Oh, did it shut down?
No, I already had it open.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you want to, did you have it pulled up or did it shut down?
No, I'm trying to, how do I get out of this?
Hit done. Click done. Now you'll need to open the file you had or create a new one, whatever you're trying to access.
Do I leave the meeting? Oh, no, wait.
Oh no, you're in Illustrator. You just need to go to File and open your file. It looks like Illustrator closed or crashed or something. So you have to either open your file or create a new one.
It's already open.
Oh, it's already open. Are you? Oh, because you're on your laptop, which is probably why the reverb is so bad. If it, go to you can't click File and open it from there.
Click file.
Illustrator file.
You can't see it on my computer?
No, I can't. It just shows the zoom.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, let me see something.
Yeah. So she finally has broken it to do that.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute you for just a minute because we're getting a lot of reverb. So what I'm gonna have you do is just pull, if you can find your assignment, just let me know and then we'll share your screen again. Or do you wanna try to, is that it, the design? Oh, that was just assignment 2. Do you want to try it again?
So,
Okay. So what I'm going to have you do, Kim, is maybe try sharing again. I'll close out the screen while you find the file. And when you find it, just let me know. We can try sharing it again. Are there any other questions? Okay, good question, Norma. So after you dim the page, then you start designing on a different layer. You lay out your text, you lay out your pictures. So remember, like assignment 2, we had several different layers. So for instance, we'll create a new layer. This layer will be text. And that's where I'll paste everything. That's when I'm going to paste my text. You have to set up your layers. Then the next layer is going to be pictures. So I'll create a new layer. So I'll make sure that on the pictures layer is when I'm placing my pictures. There we go. So you're just getting your layers set up and you're making sure your smart guides are turned on, and then we're going to start placing text. You were given 2 Word documents in your file that you're going to want to place now. Okay. Any other questions? So all in all, it just depends on how many layers you had there. You're not going to be graded on how many layers, just if you have them. It's always good to have a layer for text, a layer for pictures, and a layer for your examples. So maybe 3 layers is probably all you'd need. You can do more layers. I know some people like to break it up into subparts even more so. So it's just however you stay organized best. So I'd recommend at least 3 layers. So hopefully, so 1 for text, 1 for pictures, and then 1 for your example layer. Should be all that you need. Okay? All right, so are we safe to move on? Any other questions? Any other bugs we need to work out? Rebecca, did you figure it out? Perfect. Norma, that's excellent. Good job. That's just fine. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move on, and then we're going to take our break in the next 10 minutes. So we've got our sub headline here. Our picture is placed. Go grab this picture, though, from your assignment and place it. And then our headline and sub headline. So now it's time to format our paragraph. So I'm going to go back to the Word document that I've been given, and I'm going to start with dog parks, and I'm going to grab all of the rest of the text. Let's see, short leash, stay body language. See if I even need that yet. Nope, that's in a different section. Okay, so I'm going to copy the rest, starting with dog parks and going to the last part of that sentence. So I'm going to grab my type tool. I'm going to click and drag. And then it shows I have text here with this plus sign. So I'm going to click this plus sign. It says you still have text in there. I'm going to make room for it. I'm going to paste it. And see this blue line that's connecting the 2 text boxes? That means that the text is being wrapped around. So when I go in and change font size or the font type or font family, it will all adjust with me. It's connected, and it will also adjust the size within the column. So I don't have to do it 2 times. It's really, really handy. So what I'm going to do is go back to our type, change case, and instead of doing uppercase, I want to do sentence case. Sentence case will change it. Whoops, why didn't it change? Oh, let's see. Why are you? Oh, because my all caps are turned on. I need to turn my all caps off. There we go. Now you're going to have to do some formatting in here, a lot of formatting it looks like, because it doesn't look like everything is formatted correctly, like this S. Is not spelled correctly. Oh, wow. There's got to be a better way to do this. It looked like it didn't copy all the letters. It's missing the second letter of each sentence. So you're going to have to watch for that. It might, let me copy the text again. Let's see if we can get it. Yes, I'm going to highlight, so I'm highlighting dog parks all the way down, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to place it into here, into my two text boxes. There we go. Now the formatting is much better. What I want to watch for is make sure that my text boxes are the same size. So you can see the dimensions. It's I'm going to do 2.5 by 4.6. Oops. By 4.6. Same with this one. I'm going to make sure the dimensions are in a 2.5 by 4.6. That way they're all the same size. All right, now if it comes in and it's all caps, you're going to have to just take off the all caps and go to your type, change case, sentence case. So Kim, why don't you go ahead and share your screen? Can you do that real quick and I'll help you format it. Okay, there you go. Now I can see it. All right, so now click your plus sign and click and drag another column of text.
Can I leave your eyes on the floor while I do it?
Delete that one. Drag it from the top. You already have it selected because it's showing that text icon. So just kind of click and drag. You want to stay within your smart guides though. We don't want to go out there. Okay, so now those two text boxes should be connected. So what we want to do is make sure they're the same size before we go formatting the text. So click on dog parks, or the dog park first column, and go at the top. Let's see, where are your settings? One second, I don't see your settings. Where would they be? Go to where would it be? Oh, click that. Can you click that little top right under the X? That little arrow, upside down triangle. It looks like there's more options there. Go to the top of your Illustrator screen where you would click out to close out the assignment. The top right. All the way over, top right. Yeah, don't click that. Just go underneath it. There's that little upside down. No, don't do that. Pull it back up for just a minute. Click that middle icon. Open up Illustrator one more time. Okay, go really slow this time, okay? Is it pulled up? All right. There, underneath the X, there's this little icon. It's an upside down triangle. Can you click that for me? Under the X. You see that? Yeah, click that. Let me see.
Right there.
Can you click on width profile at the very bottom? I don't know why I can't see it. Can you click on transform? The word transform right underneath the X. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. Can you click on 2.5 for the width, or select 2.5 or type it in, not on the X, not on the X coordinates, on the width, the W.
Oh my.
See the W, there you go. 2.5. What we're doing is making sure that our columns are the exact same. Hang on. I think it got deselected. There we go. And then height is 4.6. Oh, you need to make sure you're only adjusting the size and the width and height, not the X and Y coordinates. There you
Yeah,
go.
I didn't change that.
It what?
I didn't change the Y or the,
The X. Okay, just make sure you're entering 4.6 in the height.
hold on, dang it.
There you go. It's all selected. So draw another column. There you go. And then go to the first column, select, actually you can highlight both of them if you hold down shift and select both of them. Let's see if it'll let us adjust them at the same time. So click transform, again, the word transform. It's right there. And just adjust in the width. Okay, so do 2.5. Okay, it's not going to let us do both. So we're probably just going to have to select one at a time. So just select the first column.
Okay.
Sorry, I was thinking it would save it. Oh, well, there it went.
You want me to do it again?
See if it will. I don't see why it wouldn't. 2.5 and then 4.6. Okay, go back to, there we go. Just do it one at a time. Let's see if it'll, back to transform. Okay, 2.5 and then 4.6. Okay, hit tab or, yeah. Now do the next one.
Mom, I'll be right back.
Okay.
The device is on the floor.
Now what happened to my,
Oh, just, there you go. Transform, 2.5, and 4.6. And all we're doing is we're just creating so that the columns are uniform. So now just make sure they're lined up, and then you can go in and format them. Good job. Yep. You just want to, did you see what she did, guys? She drew the ruler. She used it, she pulled down the ruler to make sure everything is level. Very good. And then just make sure, yep, that looks good to me. So now that everything is the right width and height, now you can go in and highlight the headlines or the sub-headlines and kind of format them to match the example. Okay?
so my question while you're here is the color.
Mm-hmm. Which color are you trying to change?
Well, I thought you said earlier that the color came with it or something.
Well, in the file that I opened, it did. I opened the assignment to the folder that was downloaded from the. Sorry, let me start that again. Assignment 2 and downloaded the zip file, and that's what I opened. So I was just using the swatch that was in there. If you want to grab a specific color, you can use your eyedropper tool. So it looks like you might already have. Can you highlight some of your text that you've already, like the yellow text? Just highlight the yellow text for me. Okay, if you click on that swatch on the in the toolbar in your fill box.
Over here?
Yeah, double click it. Oh, I'm sorry, not your swatches. Undo, hit Command Z. Your toolbar, the bottom there, your swatch, the toolbar on your left where all your tools are. Go all the way down to your fill box. Yep, that's your fill box. So double click that. And then go to the swatches box that you were just at. And it looks like it already has that swatch in there for you. Do you see it highlighted? So,
yeah.
So if you want to use that for your dog parks, animals, or pool parties, your sub-headlines, you can use that swatch already. It's preset. If you ever want to add a color, you can just there's an icon right next to that trash can icon in your swatches box. You can click that little new, and it will add a new icon. So let's do one that we'll need. I don't think you'll need any other color other than that yellow though.
Okay.
Is there a color that you wanted to copy?
No, I was just,
Not specifically. Yeah, just the one I had, my file that I opened had the swatches already in there, so I was just using it. But it looked like you've got that one preset already, so you should be good to go. You can copy that and use it for your subheadlines in your document.
okay.
Any other questions? You wanna try it?
As far as the colors?
Do you want to format your text, or do you want?
Oh, yeah.
So just highlight dog parks for me. Yeah, Brianne, I'll get right to you. Okay, highlight that and then go to, I think that one's a bold. Go ahead and adjust it to bold. There you go. And then click on that swatch. It should, it looks like it's already highlighted. So there you go. So that's been formatted. So instead of doing it each time like you're doing, highlight the next one and I'll show you a quick shortcut. Highlight the next header. I think it's Yappy Fashion Design. Grab your eyedropper tool right there, good job, and click on the one you want to copy. Oops, hit Command Z. And go to dog parks, click on it. There you go. And so it should have formatted it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Except it didn't look like it copied the bold.
Yeah.
So maybe that won't. I know in InDesign it will copy both the text formatting and the color. So it's on the Illustrator won't do that. But anyways, that should be an easy way to just do each one if you can. And then if you get stuck, let me know. All right, who was next? Brianne? Or I think it was Brianne. Okay. Brianne, did you have a question?
Well, it wasn't me, it was Rebecca, but she would ask the same question. Is that the dog in the picture?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's facing, that's okay. It's facing a different direction than ours and from
And the
ours.
one that you have? Okay. Good question. So I'll have you do it since I don't have the dog file up. Do you want to pull, do you have it open, Brianne?
Yes, mine's on.
Okay, I'll just have you share your screen and I'll step you through it. Okay, so so click the file or select the image. And
Okay.
it looks like it's okay if it's not, but can you share your,
You want it bigger?
I need your desktop because it doesn't show me your options.
Okay.
Can you share your desktop so I can see your drop-down windows?
Mm-hmm. Let me shrink you back. Maybe. How do I switch it to, oh, do I have to sit stop?
You might
first?
need to close it and try it one more time.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. I'm gonna try it because it's muscle memory. So I'm gonna try it on mine real quick, and then I'll step you through it. In Photoshop, there's a setting that tells you to just flip horizontally, and I wish that Illustrator had it. I know you could go to your rotate tool, maybe if you can click your rotate tool.
Which is, sorry, I don't know where that one is.
It's okay. Let me pull up your screen. Let me see if it'll work on mine. Okay, 1 second.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, so there, you can do one of the following. You can rotate it. So rotating an object can turn it around the fixed point that you designate. What you can do, I'm trying to see if we can get it to give us the effect that we want though. Okay, so select the object, or are they all grouped?
Yes.
Okay, so make sure they're all grouped. So with the selection tool, move the pointer outside the bounding box. And then kind of see where your arrow will kind of change to a curved arrow. You can kind of rotate it to, you can do it manually is what I'm saying.
I can't tell where he's at.
That's okay, I'll help you.
Maybe I should blow him up.
So undo that real quick. Yeah, get closer, undo it.
Well, I put him back where he was.
Okay. We'll undo the rotation is all I'm saying. We'll undo it. One more time. Okay. Now grab the right side. You see that little pink box, that pink circle? Yeah. And we're gonna move it, or sorry, grab the white square right there, and we're gonna bring him all the way over to the other side. Click and drag to the left. Keep going. It'll look like it distorts, but you're gonna flip it. So click to the left, bring him over.
Oh, how fun.
Until right about there. We don't want him to look too stretched. Now you can just resize him how you would. I know there's another way to do it, so it's, you don't have to mess with the skewing of it, but that should be an easy way to do it.
Oh, that's better.
Does that work? Does that
Yeah.
answer your question? Was that Brianne that asked?
Well, it was Rebecca that originally asked, but
Oh, I'm sorry. You're sharing.
I was going to ask at the same time. She just typed faster.
Yeah, and then there's a way to reflect an object with the reflect tool. So if you select the object, let's try it again. Select the object. This might be a better way to do it so you don't mess with the skewing. So select it, and then we want to select the reflect tool. There it is. It's under the rotate tool. Now draw an invisible axis across the object that you want to reflect. So basically, kind of change the direction of the pointer. So click and drag to the, kind of what we did. Click and drag over
So just,
to the left. Click and drag. There you go.
so then he went back the way he was.
Yeah, but that's how you, it's reflecting the direction. So instead of doing it the way I told you the first way, this is kind of an easier way so you don't stretch the picture or skew the size. So it's kind of best to use the reflect tool.
Okay.
Does that help, Rebecca? Hopefully that's a little bit more clear. We're going to go ahead and take our 10-minute break. Go ahead and play catch up. Try to get things laid out if you can. And then when we come back, we'll finish up the design. I have a little fun tutorial to show you if we can get this wrapped up. And then you guys will be on your way, and then we'll see you on Thursday. So let's take a quick 10-minute break, and then we'll come back and work on the rest of this layout. Yeah, use the reflect tool, Rebecca. The reflect tool is right under the rotation tool. Yeah, it's a lot easier and less steps and skewing. It just basically will reflect it left and right or up and down, however you want it to. All right, so how is it coming? How's everyone doing? Are we doing good? Getting the hang of it? Everything laid out as it should? Getting there. Okay, good. So we're going to start on the text here. I think some of you already had some of this formatted. I'm just going to keep the same font, but I'm going to change the headers to Myriad Pro Bold. Font size can be 10 or 11, that's fine. And then I'm going to copy that color that's in my swatches. By grabbing my eyedrop tool, it'll allow me to format my font, my bold, and the color that I chose. So I'm just going to use my eyedropper tool each time. So you only need to make the change really one time, and then you can use the eyedropper tool to format it. All right. Oh, and I forgot pool parties. All right. So next thing I want to do is adjust the actual body text is supposed to be a serif font. So I'm going to go and do Minion Pro or Times New Roman. Let's do Times New Roman. It might be better. Let's do Times New Roman. And the font size should be about 10, I believe. No, I think it's 11. Let's see. I'm going to grab my eyedropper tool and select it. So I'm doing, and then I'm going to give a return at the bottom of each one, because I want a space between each header. Just like that. And I think I'm going to need to make the font a little smaller. So I'm going to highlight everything and do size 10. We'll play around with the font size in just a minute. We'll want it to fit correctly. So maybe 10.5. See if that does the job. There we go. And I'm going to want to bring pool parties up. There we go. All right, so everything has been formatted. That's a good question. However, the example shows a serif font, so that's what I'm using. It's also a serif font for the example, so you should have used a serif font for both. Yeah, they should be the same. It should be the same. If you can get it to fit. Was that what you're asking, Brianne? Yeah, same type for both. So whatever you used in the previous one, use for the second one. Yeah, everything should be formatted similarly. So good job. Yeah. it should be the same size. Do your best to get it as close as possible. Because we want it to look like it flows, but if it's not fitting, then obviously you can change it. Just format it as close to the example as you can. Okay. And I actually think this is a Minion type. If we were matching it exactly, it's Minion Pro instead of Times New Roman. So I'm going to grab the eyedropper tool again and go in here. And change it that way. All right, any questions about that, about the formatting? I want you to be aware that when you're doing your layouts, I'm going to be looking for, is everything going to line up? So I'm going to grab this ruler. If you click and drag on your ruler bar and bring it down, you'll get this ruler guide. You want the last sentence of each column to line up correctly, okay? So do your best to get it to the, now this second column doesn't really line up, and that's okay. All right, so are we good to move on from this section? All right, I'm gonna leave the second half to you guys as we're gonna move on. Good questions. You have a background, how do I get to transparent? Okay, so Norma, if you'll share your screen, I'll show you. That's a very good question. Go ahead and share your screen for me. And I'll go ahead and unmute you. So click on your dog. So your dog needs to be vectorized. So you need to go to click on image trace at the top, or click on the drop-down menu. You'll probably want high quality. I'm sorry, the menu next to image trace. Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
High fidelity photo is what you're going to want. And then it'll give you a preview.
I should have known that. I wasn't thinking.
No, it's fine. It's good practice.
Errors make for good learning.
That's right. And I'm sure there are going to be many students that are in the same spot. So
It's slowly getting there.
it's thinking. It's there's a lot it's trying to convert.
I have a lot open.
The idea is, though, once you convert it, you should be able to delete the background. Okay, now hit expand to continue.
And
Okay, now right click on it,
click
ungroup,
and group.
and then select in the gray area, yeah, and then select that white background, see if it'll let you delete that. There you go. Now select the dog for me. Okay, now all those little pieces are not grouped, so you're going to need to click and drag around him so that you can highlight all of those little pieces, because we're going to regroup it. We had to ungroup it to get rid of the white background. Now we've got to regroup.
Right.
There you go, right click, or Command G will group it.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
So now you can move it around and it'll be all one piece. Good question. Yeah, that's how you'll have to convert it to vector, and then once you do that, you can just delete the background. Any other questions? Yeah, no problem. That's a great question. Any other questions before we move on? Okay, so let's start with another tutorial. I'm gonna let you do the second half and see if you can figure it out. That we practiced the formatting on the first half, and the second half should be pretty simple. I do recommend drawing this background last, the background box last, because once you put a fill color in it, it's going to be hard to see your work, so that's last, okay? Let's go to a new document. And let's slide this over. Okay, so for this tutorial, I thought it'd be kind of fun to learn how to create vector sun rays. I don't know if you've learned to do that before, but in our last tutorial, we learned how to do some really neat patterns and backgrounds, and I thought this would be a neat addition to it. So what we're going to do is create a new document. So let's go to File, New, and just so everyone's on board, let's create a 360 by 360 artboard. So let's go to change our unit of increment to pixels.
360 by 360.
Yes, 360 by 360. So it's going to look like this, 360 by 360. Everyone see that? And then we don't need a bleed or anything. Okay, everything should look like this. You only need one artboard. And this is vector sun rays. This is just how to create a neat pattern to create a new background. Okay, so hit OK. I'm going to click out of some of these boxes so that it's not so confusing. Did everyone get the dimensions? So yeah, so first you're going to open Illustrator, and for this tutorial we're going to use 360 by 360 pixel artboard. It doesn't matter how big your artboard is, this is just for the tutorial, okay? So this is just so that we're all on the same level here. So now we're going to use the tool called the ellipse tool, or it's the letter L on your keyboard. The ellipse tool, it's right here, or you can select L on your keyboard and it will select it for you. So before we click and drag, we're just going to click once on the artboard and it will bring up your ellipse panel. And then we're going to give it a size, 270 by 270 pixels. So I'll stop there. If anyone wants to catch up, I'll give you guys a minute to catch up. So at this point, you should have created your artboard, and then we're going to create a circle. That is 270 by 270 pixels. So it doesn't really matter what size artboard. So just as long as we can, okay, so 360 by 360 pixels. And then your circle should be 270. And the way that you do that, so once you have your artboard selected and created, you're going to grab your ellipse tool and click once on the artboard. It'll pull up your ellipse panel, and this is where you'll adjust the size. You want it to say 270 by 270. Just like that. Give me a smiley face if you're at this point, if you've been able to catch up. Okay, Brianne's there. Norma, yes. Okay, good. Kim, how are we doing? Oh, Illustrator's not opening. Oh, darn. Maybe try to close it and then open it again, or force quit it. All right, so then now that we have our circle, you can hit OK, and it creates this nice circle. We're going to turn off the fill. So make sure that your fill is set to transparent right here on our toolbar. We want that red line going through it. You can also change it here in your swatches. Just make sure that the fill is in the foreground and you select transparent, no fill. Now from the stroke tab up top here at the top of your Illustrator file, you're going to make the stroke width to 50 or more. Okay, so we can manually enter that in. I'm going to hit 50. It's going to make this really thick looking circle. I kind of bring it here in the center. And then we want to check the dashed line. So let's see. Where is that dashed line? Here we go. I'm going to pull up my stroke panel. I want dashed line checked. And then we're going to change the value of the first dash value as long as the lines are not intersecting each other. So we don't want intersecting. I think we want these ones. And the first dash value, we can try 8 point maybe. And I'm going to leave this dialog box open so that you can see what I'm doing. I know I lost some of you. Here's some instructions. So you have to create, so I got the dashed line by I went and changed my font, my stroke size to 50. By clicking stroke, that word stroke up there gives me the option to create, to change my stroke. So I check marked this dash line. Do you see that? This dash line right here. And then I don't want intersecting lines. I want the one on the right. And then I changed the size, the dash size to 8. And I sent some written instructions so that it's a little bit more clear. Okay, you'll need to add a stroke, and you want a 50-point stroke up at the top of your Illustrator screen, right here. You see that? Here, I'll have you share your screen. Go ahead, Norma, share your screen. I'll catch you up. Perfect, you're doing great. Okay, so click the word stroke, that orange word.
That's shape.
Nope, the one on the left where it says stroke.
Oh, excuse me.
Yep, right there. And then click dashed line. And then make sure the one on the right is selected, the dashed line icon on the right. Yep, aligns dashes, okay. And then change that point value to 8. It really can be any size, but 8 will give us the look that we're going for. All right, so then you're all caught up, okay? We're at this point, okay? We're halfway there. You're done. Anyone else need to get caught up? Okay, Rebecca, okay, go ahead, pull up your screen. I'll go ahead and mute, was it Norma? And then Rebecca, I'll unmute you.
Okay, I got the circle,
Perfect.
like you said, 27, but it didn't say PX on there, pixel. It had PT on there.
Click your ellipse tool. Go grab your ellipse tool and then click once on the artboard for me. Oh, undo, Command Z. There you go. Click on the white artboard, not on your circle. Just click once on the white artboard. There you go. Oh, I see. You know what? Your preferences probably have it set up differently, so that's okay. It's same idea. So hit OK. Adjust your stroke to 50.
Okay, so the stroke will be.
Oh, actually, you need to delete that little, it looks like there was something drawn. Just hit delete. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Now select your circle,
Oh, select my circle. Okay, hold on.
cancel. Oh, hit delete.
All right.
There you go. Now get your selection tool. I want to get you off this ellipse tool. There you go. And then
Okay.
select your circle. So make sure it's highlighted. Now go to the stroke and you can change the size to 50. It won't be in there, so you have to manually enter it in. You can type
Okay.
in. 50 and then hit tab or enter or whatever you want to use. You go ahead and shrink that down a little bit. Hold down shift as you bring it down. But you just want the circle to fit within the artboard.
Okay, so
Hold down shift and grab the corner anchor point.
this one right here.
Hold down shift and click and drag just slightly until we can get it fit within.
Okay.
Maybe keep going. Are you holding down shift?
Yes.
Good. Perfect. Okay, so kind of center it. There you go. All right, now click the word stroke. It's the orange word next to where you adjusted the stroke width.
Okay.
There you go. Click dashed line
Dash line
and change that to 8.
and right here. Right?
Yep, make sure that's selected and then change it to 8 point, the first dash line.
The first dash would be.
Where it says 12, you want that to say 8.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, now you're ready to go. So you're where I'm at right now. Anyone else? Good job. Anyone else need help? Okay, I got Rebecca. It looks like I hope Norma. Anyone else? Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to move on if there's no one else that needs help. Oops. There we go. Okay. Hang on. All right, now we're almost done. So now we're going to click Object. So we're going to select make sure our circle is selected. Now, if you can't select it, just select somewhere in the center or in the middle of your stroke because it's so big. You have to make sure one of those anchor points gets highlighted. So select your circle. Click once. Go to Object, your drop-down menu, Object. Go to Expand. Or go to stroke, let's see, sorry. Expand appearance. Expand. And then we're going to want to make sure that stroke is selected only. So we're at this point, okay? So I'm going to help you guys through this. Are you at this point? Does everyone see this? You had to go to the drop-down menu Object, click Expand or Expand Appearance, whichever one allows you to click on. Until you get this box. You did not get a dialog box. Okay, let me see. Go ahead and share your screen. Okay, go to Object, Expand. There you go.
Oh.
So it made me do it twice. It might make you do it once. I don't know. It's just weird how it's set up. So if it does make you do it twice, just make sure you keep doing it until you get this panel. So you're right where you need to be. Deselect the fill box. You don't need that checked. We only want the stroke box checked. And you can hit OK at this point. And then we'll wait for further instruction.
Okay.
You're caught up. Good job. Anyone else? So you're going to make sure the only box that's selected is stroke and hit OK. And you'll know you did it right when your stroke, each individual piece is its own vector.
Expand.
Okay. Anybody else need help, or are we at this point? I'll give you a minute to catch up. We're so close. 3 more steps. Okay, got it? Okay, good. So then here's the fun part. With it selected, keep everything highlighted. Don't click off of it. We want it all highlighted. From the tools menu, so our tools bar, we're going to click and then hold the warp tool, okay? And the warp tool is sometimes hidden, so we need to just kind of click and hold. If you see your width tool, it's usually under the width tool. So click and hold until you see the warp tool. It kind of looks like a finger is pointing on something. It's right here, and I've got it highlighted on my Illustrator, so if you see it, that's what it looks like. So once you select the warp tool, a submenu is going to appear from there. So you kind of want to choose pucker. Let's see. Choose pucker. Now before using this tool, I want you to double click on the pucker tool. So on the toolbar, you're going to double click on it and it will bring up another panel. And this is where we're going to change some options. So I'm going to wait till everyone finds the pucker tool. It's under your warp tool or your width tool. Got it? Okay. You want your pucker tool panel right up front and center. Everyone has the pucker tool panel. All right. So now we're going to change the options a little bit. So from the pucker tool options, set the height and the width to 260 pixels, okay? You manually enter that in, 260 pixels. And the idea here is to set a very slightly smaller circle than our actual circle. Our circle was 270. We're just doing it a few points lower, so it's 260. And you'll see why, because we want to be able to grab the inside points and not the outside points. So 260 by 260, uncheck the details options and click OK. And by clicking and holding, your points will kind of meet in the middle. Click and hold. And if you move it while you're still holding it, it will give you really cool effects. Like this kind of makes a seashell or like that. Or you can kind of meet in the middle and it gives you that sunburst, that sun ray look. There's a lot of different things you can do, a lot of different designs. You can kind of play around with it. Command Z will help you go back to your original point. You can change the direction of it. It's really cool what it does. So this pucker tool is kind of neat. So we just want to meet in the dead center because this will complete our starburst assignment. So try to get it angled as far as you can to make it look like it's in the center there. And then you can select off of it, okay? So it's pretty cool, the effect it gives you. So if you want to interactively change the radius of the circle, hold Shift and Alt, and then you can click and hold your mouse, and that will allow you to adjust the radius of it. Make sure that the radius of the pucker tool will only affect the inner points. We only want the inner points, okay? Which was why we made it smaller than our circle. So press and hold the left mouse button and kind of click around until you get this effect. With it selected, you can give it any color you want. And in this case, I'm just using a pre-selected one. And that's it. That's how you create your vector sunburst or sun rays, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes to do a background, you can grab the rectangle tool and put a fill behind it. Let's see. You can kind of do something like that. That's kind of neat. You can make the circle bigger. You can, basically you can get different effects depending on what you use. And then by using a clipping mask, set your fill to transparent, right click, make clipping mask. Oops. And select all your objects. Just like we learned, you can create a really cool background. So yeah, so Norma, the way I got the background was I just drew a square on the background and then I filled it in with a color. So I'll back up here. Just back up a few steps. You don't have to do this. The initial creation was just to kind of show you how to make a sunburst. I just gave it a color. It was already an orange gradient color. And then I took a square, drew a square on my artboard, and I filled it with the same orange gradient. If I right click, send it to the back, you can see that my circle is there now in the foreground. I'm just resizing my circle. Oops. I'm gonna resize my circle so it's a little larger. And you can see that really cool sunburst background. It makes a really neat effect. Sometimes you'll see this on stock photography or stock photography websites. They'll sometimes sell their vector backgrounds, and it's so simple that you could even create it. You don't need to buy stock images. And I'm going to set this fill to transparent, highlight everything, and create my clipping mask. And there you go. You have a really nice background. So if you guys need help catching up to this stage, let me know and we can share your screen. Okay. All right, Rebecca, go for it. I'll go ahead and unmute you.
Okay. All right.
Okay, perfect. So you got the effect. So now you can change the color.
So I draw the square around the whole circle. Is that correct?
Yes.
So I would have to go to this part of the tool.
You'll go to, hold it down until you get your rectangle tool. And then I just drew a square the size of the artboard. And then if you can pull up your swatches, you can find it in your window drop-down menu or on the right side.
Okay, so
Your menu.
Windows, go to my swatches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I picked a gradient. So if you have a gradient, I give it a nice effect. It looks like you have one in there, that orange gradient at the bottom, right? Yeah, that's kind of cool. And then you can send it to the back. So right click on it.
Right click.
Or yeah.
On the artboard?
Yeah, right click.
Okay.
And then arrange.
Okay, arrange and send backwards.
Send to back. Oh, send back.
Send back.
Yeah, that way you can get it. Okay, so now you have it in the back. So now select your sunburst and you can give it any color you want. Try giving it that same gradient and see what effect it gives you.
Okay, so you're talking about changing this color in here?
So grab your selection tool.
My selection tool.
Black arrow.
Okay.
Click your sunburst.
My sunburst.
And now give it a color. So try giving it the same color.
Okay, so I would go like maybe like that color. Okay, once I do that, then I go ahead and just click off of it.
Yeah, so you can click off of it. You can so once you pick the color, you can change the opacity to kind of give you a different effect if you want. You can give it the same color as your background, and that'll give you a neat effect. So you can just play around with it. Really, there's no right and wrong on how to do it. So you can just kind of see what effect it gives you, and if you like it, just kind of play around with it. But that's overall how to do it. So good job.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so who is next? Brianne, do you want to, or no, it was Norma. Okay, Norma, do you want to share your screen? Go ahead and share your screen and we'll get you caught up. Oh, you're right there. You're doing great.
How did you get the center white?
I had a gradient on it. So do you want to create a gradient?
On the sunburst itself or on the background?
We'll have to create a new swatch. So let's create a new swatch. So you can select the sunburst because we're going to want to color it. Go to your gradient tool, your tool on your toolbar on the right column, middle down, right there. And let's see, does it pull up your gradient? Double click on it or click once. There it is. So now click on your yellow there, and you want to change that yellow to a white. And then the next one, nope, now the next slider, the gradient slider, drag down. Drag down. You want to delete it, so you're dragging down.
Oh.
Just pull it down. There you go. And then that's fine. That gives you the effect you're looking for. Instead of linear for the type, you want it to say radial. Radial.
Oh, okay.
And then you can use the slider. So if you want to get rid of some of those, use that top diamond slider on the left, the top left diamond slider, top left. There you go. And move it so you can adjust how much white you want in your circle. That will adjust the color for you. So if you want more of a brighter center, and you can see it adjusting it as you go. So you can kind of see the effect that you want. And you can really give it any color you want by clicking on the sliders. And then by giving your background the exact same color, you'll get a really cool effect. So maybe go to your swatches. Where are your swatches? Go to your swatches box right behind your gradient panel. Right behind, yep. And then click new if you like that one and want to keep it. Click that icon next to the trash can on the bottom right, right there. And that's a new gradient swatch, so hit OK. There you go. So now it's preset in there. So now you can click your background and give it that same gradient swatch. And then you can bring the opacity back to 100%.
100%?
Yes, your opacity. There you go. So now if you expand your circle even bigger, you'll see more of the pattern behind it. But that's the idea, is to just kind of play around with it, and you'll get different effects.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Good job. Okay, so who is next? Let's see. Okay, Brianne is next. So let me close out of here. Okay, Brianne, if you want to share your screen. And I'll go ahead and unmute you. Okay, what's your question?
Well, in the middle, I noticed like on your guys' you have like almost like a square in the middle.
A square?
Like if you look at the middle of yours, it's almost like a squishy square. Squishy square.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The shape. That's okay. It doesn't have to be exact. It's just where your pucker tool ended. And it, again, you can adjust the center of your sun ray any way you want.
I don't know. I just like that look, and mine just likes to stay a circle. So I was just curious.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It just might be your cursor, or maybe the way where it's lining up. But yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. It looks great. You did a great job. Good job keeping up.
I was just curious.
Yeah, no, it's nothing that'll make or break the design. But again, it's just kind of like where your pucker tool ended is all.
Okay.
Yep. Good job, guys. Well, that concludes class. So you guys have been awesome. Let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you throughout the week. If you have any questions on the final, email me. Come in on Thursday, though, because I'd love to work with you all, okay? Are there any questions before we close? Any questions about the final? Okay, well, I hope you guys had fun. This has been a blast teaching, and I hope you guys learned some fun things and learned some new tools to create some fun effects. So I'm glad you guys could come. Thanks for participating, and I'll see you hopefully on Thursday. If not, good luck in your next mod. Same time, Rebecca. So let's see, 7:30 to 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. So whatever time zone you're in. So same time as this class, basically. It's a 2-hour multi-session. Good. If you're on the East Coast, you have to be. It's pretty late there, so I get if not everyone is able to come. Perfect. Well, it's late enough that hopefully, yeah, everyone's off work, but should be in bed. All right, come and show me your final. We'll critique it and hopefully get it submitted so you can walk away with a grade. Yeah, it's pretty late. So we'll let you guys get to bed and get to working on the final, and we will talk to you guys later. Thank you all. Good night.